I had announced in October last year that we would have to reduce the growth rate from 1.5% to 0.5% beginning in the second half of 2012. While in the past we had grown the vehicle population by 3% and then slowing it down to 1.5%, we do need to bring it down further so that it keeps pace with the growth of the road network. I understand the concerns that have been raised, and indeed they are valid, because going down to 0.5% would constrain the growth of the vehicle quota numbers, and also the prices have been rising in the recent bidding exercises. Also, with the data that I now have based on the deregistrations that have been taking place over the last few months and the behavioral changes of car owners, I think if we proceed with the plan as we had envisaged earlier, it will put quite a significant squeeze on the vehicle quota numbers. So I've actually asked LTA to study very carefully two areas. One area is whether we can slow down the growth rate, whether we can be more flexible in the implementation of this, while we recognize that 0.5% is indeed the target that we want to achieve. So they will study very carefully whether we can exercise some flexibility in this regard. The second area that I've asked them to look at is whether we can defer somewhat the adjustment of the over-provision of COEs that we have made in 2008-2009. We had originally wanted to make the adjustment over a one-year period, and then that was subsequently extended so that we would make the adjustments of the over-provisions over a 3-year period. And that has been going on, I think, for the last year, year and a half. I've asked them to see whether there is a possibility that we would defer the adjustment, knowing that in the second half of 2013 into 2014 and so on, the number of COEs that will be available will be significantly higher than what it is today. Two things that I've asked LTA to consider very carefully: whether we can exercise some flexibility moving from 1.5% to 0.5%, and the other is whether we can defer the adjustments on the over-provision of COEs that we had done in 2008-2009. I hope to have an answer by the end of this month, and then we can have more details then when we have looked at this matter sufficiently. So that's the thinking at this point in time.